So here we're going to examine the inverted head and shoulders pattern. And this is a bottoming pattern. In other words, it is used to go long a position after the pattern is complete. And it has three elements to it. It has the left shoulder, which in this case we're using simple XLI, so it's right here is the left shoulder. Then we have the head, and then we have the right shoulder. Ideally, the right shoulder will be higher, that is, this base right here, will be higher than the base of the left shoulder, indicating that strength is building. And the measured move of this is classically from the neckline, which in this case is here, which is about, let's call it $22 just to make the math easy, down to the bottom of the head here, which is at around, say, $13. So that gives us a sum of 9. Therefore, we would target a measure move of 22 plus 9, that is the neckline plus the range here, which is 31. So, as we can see over the course of time, that move was fulfilled, like so. And the inverted head and shoulders, which in this large chart you can see here, was the precursor to that substantial move higher. Let's look at some other examples to drive home the point. We'll resume with CBS. With CBS, we had been descending through 2007, 2008, and then began hammering out this base right here. So here we have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. And again, we've got a very ideal setup here because the right shoulder is higher than the left. We also have a breakout followed by a retracement. And this is the lowest risk place to go long a position given this pattern, because as we zoom in here tightly, the neckline is at about 8.66. So we had a gap up breakout, and after that it eased down toward the neckline. And purchasing around $9 is the lowest risk area because not only is the pattern complete, but it's demonstrated its power via a breakout and also respecting this line as support as opposed to its old role of resistance. And here again, this pattern you can see here was the preface to a very, very substantial move higher. NEWP is our next example. These are large charts, but they help illustrate nicely in the context of a bottoming pattern how the inverted head and shoulders can precede a big move higher. So here we've got the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Here's the neckline, which it challenged a number of times, but after finally in September of 2009, its final tag of that neckline, it made its move higher. And here again we can see that the range of the pattern itself was from about $3 to $7, giving us a target of 11, which it very easily nailed less than a year after the pattern was complete. Next example, BEXP, which is the company Brigham Exploration. Here is the pattern, which importantly, bottoming patterns, it seems almost a truism, but they follow long descents ideally. So BEXP had been descending for a long time and began to hammer out the base. Here's the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, the neckline, and that was the beginning of a very powerful move higher. A couple of more examples to round this out. MAS. This is Masco Corporation. And so here I'll draw the neckline for you. So choosing the horizontal line, we'll approximate it here, zoom in, make sure this is exactly right. So the neckline in this instance was at 10.41, and as you can see, we had another gap up here in July of 2009. We gapped up, challenged the neckline a couple of times, and then began a strong move higher. Now, this doesn't mean it's a permanently great stock to own, as you can see, because the move terminated some months later. However, an entry after this gap, that is after the pattern was complete, would have ultimately proved to have been a profitable trading decision. And one last example of the inverted head and shoulders is symbol SM, which is SM energy. Here again, let's carve this backward just to show the long descent in the stock's price from the 60s down to about 10, but this base was formed here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, higher than the left, neckline at 24.30, breakout, retrace, and then a resumption of the move higher. Here's the pattern in context, and here's the move that followed it. There you have it, inverted head and shoulders.